Hi, and welcome to Kristin's Corner. I'm Kristin Huffman. This is a show where I'm interviewing experts in the entertainment industry, and we're discussing trends and changes in the business, and there are a lot of them, so that we can all be better prepared. So today, I'm so lucky to welcome Tim Howard, who has had a diverse career as a director, an actor, a singer, music director, and he heads the BFA musical theater program and is a professor at Western Connecticut State University. I'm sure that you are actually teaching classes today, so thank you so much for making time for this.
My pleasure. Thanks for asking me.
You're welcome. Now, as teachers, we talk about the challenges of last year, but what were a couple of your accomplishments as a director and a teacher from this past very challenging year?
Okay, well, so it was a challenging year. We got through it, and I think we actually learned a lot from the process. And that was mainly that we could act for the camera and take that theater training and make those adjustments for the camera. Mm-hmm. So we actually did 9 virtual productions last year. We had, for the spring semester, we had a New Voices, New Works series, which was to amplify the voices of marginalized and underrepresented playwrights and composers. So in the fall, we did 5 new shows. I directed a brand new musical called The Radium Girls, a jaw-dropping new musical. So it was a la Little Shop of Horrors and a dark comedy. We had 5 national awards for that, which was amazing because we were all scared out of our minds because it was a brand new art form.
Right.
But the students were given green screens, their apartments or their dorms from wherever they were made into recording studios. And so it was done like a film. But there were 5 extraordinary productions that semester, and we were really proud of them. So that being said, we are very happy to be back live again.
That's wonderful. What kind of advice are you giving your students right now about the industry and how it's changing?
First of all, flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is changing, and it's changing on a daily basis. So it's money in the bank, as far as I'm concerned, what they were required to do by learning the self-tape and to be able to perfect that, because that's not going to go away anytime soon. I think that will always be done as a pre-screen. Mm-hmm. And their skill set has really increased in the process.
Do you, other than that, in terms of tips and trends, is there anything that you see kind of as an up and coming trend that we should all keep an eye on?
In terms of musical theater specifically, I think that, that we are no longer in the world of, I don't want to say no longer in the world of golden age musicals. We are in the world of pop rock. And even when golden age musicals, which they're not going away, nor should we ever think in those terms, but they're not going to be viewed in the same way that they were produced. And so the influence, just like film influences theater, now pop rock is influencing musical theater. I just saw 6 this weekend, and my friend Roberta Ducek is the music coordinator on that, and I had done Showboat with her, the Broadway tour and so she was talking a lot about how that was being approached and what they were looking for. And so I think it's evolving constantly, and with more pop rock being used, that has its own art form as well. Mm-hmm. And there's different ways to do a pop rock, as we know. Mm-hmm. But they're specifically looking for more connection when they're seeing people. So they actually are using the pre-screens, but then they need to get people in the room because they want to see how they're going to interact with the actual artistic team that they're auditioning for.
And there are an awful lot of movie musicals happening as well. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's fantastic. Yeah. I mean, music theater is kind of taking over right now. It's really hot. I think it's exciting. I think it's always a challenge to take a musical and see how it's going to be digested as an audience member because it's not really written for the screen.
Yeah, I think one of the best ones I saw was the Jesus Christ Superstar that they did. I thought that that was handled so well.
They really hit the right tonality on that, on how to make that that kind of purr again.
What are one or two things that you're going to tell your seniors when they graduate this year immediately to do when they step out the door?
Well, I mean, we start that whole process beginning of senior year. Mm-hmm. So audition techniques is really about, not really in terms of musicals, really in terms of just how to audition and how to be the best. And that has to encompass now film and also theater. And then we go into transition workshop, which is really covering everything from taxes to getting an agent to having your website, the best pictures, total format of your resume. But the first thing that I really kind of emphasize is that you can never take anything personally. And you can't assume that because you didn't get a call back for something that casting director isn't into you.
Right.
They may be really into you, but that part may be already cast that you're right for. I know people that auditioned for Les Mis 12 times before they actually got it. So that's one thing that I really emphasize, is just that there are jobs out there. Someone has to get them, but you're not going to get them unless you show up.
What are some of your own big ideas for this year? What are your goals, either for the rest of the school year or for yourself?
Right now in the present, I'm in pre-production for Sweeney Todd, which I'm directing. We have Head Over Heels, which is the Go-Go's musical. My goals are always the same as what I set up for the program at Western Connecticut. And so my motto is to be the best you. And I think that as theater artists, we're Olympians. That means we have to be really fit and really strong physically, mentally, emotionally, so that we're completely available. So that motto for myself, of course, for all of us during times of COVID, has been challenging. But, we just put one foot in front of the next, and then we just keep moving forward. But Be the Best You is not just about being a theater Olympian. I think it's also about figuring out who you are, and which is what you need to do when you're in college. And you continue to figure that out even when you're of a certain age. But once you know exactly who you are, then you know what you're selling. And when you know what you're selling, there is no competition in the room if you really are the best you.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. And it's so interesting because I'm sure you felt this way too. You feel one way when you're in college, you get out and the industry sort of tells you, as well as you telling them, well, here's what we see you as. I've always heard, give it 5 years at least. Don't try to leave after the first year thinking, well, it's not going to work, because it takes a little bit of time to settle in.
I got my equity card in Boston. I worked there for 4 years, and I was kind of working nonstop. And I thought, well, this is easy. I'm going to move to New York. I got this. Yeah. And then, of course, like everybody else, you don't work for a year,
right?
Because the talent pool is so huge, and you're figuring it out, and they're helping you figure it out, because you're either getting a call back or you're not getting a call back. You're either getting cast or you're not getting cast. And so you start to figure out, how can I bring the best me into that room, and also adjust to what you're selling.
Right. And now that we can all do self-tapes, we can be a variety of areas like Connecticut. We don't have to always be right. We have to be able to get into New York on a callback.
Right.
But boy, we can submit a lot more for a lot more things. I don't envy the casting directors having to go through all of it, but.
Yeah, but in other ways, they don't have to leave their apartment. And they
don't have to watch the whole audition either.
No, they don't, and they probably won't. But they actually are telling me that it actually has made their job easier in certain ways, because it's not a restricted talent pool. So there are positives to what we've gone through in the last year and a half.
Yeah. Well, good luck with the rest of the semester. I'll officially invite you to New Paradigm Theater Company's holiday show, which is December 11th to 12th. We're doing that at Fairfield Theater Company. We're like you, just happy to be producing anything live. I can't wait. I would love to come see either Sweeney or Head Over Heels. I know they're both going to be great.
Well, great. Just let me know and we'll absolutely get you in.
Wonderful. And for the rest of you watching, we just want you to be prepared for this industry that is changing and that we're all kind of finding our way through right now before you step out of your own little corner. So tune in next time for more trends and tips on Kristin's Corner. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you. Bye-bye.